Welcome to our cinematic story Craft English Learning YouTube channel. Today is very interesting story, My Job at Bakery. This story is helpful for your English learning, listening and speaking skills. So listen carefully. I woke up at 4:30 a.m., my alarm screaming in the silence of my tiny apartment. The world outside was still dark, but for me the day had already begun. I pulled on my uniform, black pants, a white shirt, and a brown apron embroidered with the name Bella's Bakery. It had been 6 months since I started working there, and each day brought a mix of chaos, exhaustion, and unexpected joy. By 5 a.m., I was already inside the bakery, the warmth of the ovens fighting off the early morning chill. My boss, Mrs. Bella, an older woman with sharp eyes and a soft heart, was already mixing dough. "You're late by 2 minutes, Emily," she said, not looking up. I grinned, knowing she wasn't really mad. "I'll make it up by baking the best croissants today," I said, tying my apron tighter. The next 2 hours were a blur of flour, butter and sugar. The air smelled heavenly, freshly baked bread, vanilla, and melting chocolate. I rolled dough, shaped pastries, and piped cream into eclairs. Each pastry had to be perfect. Mrs. Bella always said, "Customers don't just eat with their mouths, Emily, they eat with their eyes first." At 7 a.m., the bakery doors opened. The first customer was always Mr. Harris, an old man who had been coming here for 20 years. "Morning, sunshine," he said as I handed him his usual black coffee and almond croissant. He paid, but not before slipping a candy into my pocket like he always did. "For the hard worker," he winked. The morning rush was madness. The small bell above the door never stopped ringing. Businessmen grabbed quick espressos, mothers bought warm loaves for breakfast, and children pressed their noses against the glass display, deciding between cookies and muffins. I barely had time to breathe. "Emily, we need more cinnamon rolls at the front," Bella called. I sprinted, nearly slipping on the freshly mopped floor. At 10:30 a.m., things calmed down. That's when he walked in. He was tall, with dark hair, and the kind of smile that made people forget what they were doing. "Hey," he said, his voice smooth like melted caramel. "1 chocolate Danish, please." I nodded, placing the pastry in a brown bag, but as I handed it to him, our fingers brushed, just for a second. I felt warmth rush to my cheeks. He didn't notice, or maybe he did. "Thanks," he said, and before I could even say, "Have a nice day," he was gone. For the next few days, I found myself waiting for him. Would he come back? Was I imagining things? But on Friday morning, just as I was dusting powdered sugar over some donuts, he walked in again. "2 chocolate Danishes today," he said, smiling. "Big appetite?" I asked, trying to sound casual. He shrugged. "1 for me, 1 for my sister. She loves them." Days turned into weeks, and he became a regular customer. His name was Jake. He was an architect, working in an office nearby. "I usually don't like sweets, but your chocolate Danish changed my mind," he admitted one morning. I laughed. "Maybe you just have good taste." One afternoon, Bella had to leave early, and I was left in charge. It was a slow day, so I decided to try a new recipe, a raspberry tart with a hint of lemon zest. When I placed it in the display, Jake walked in. "What's that?" he asked, pointing at the tart. "Something new. Want to try?" I offered him a slice, watching as he took a bite. His eyes widened. "Wow, this is amazing." The next morning, Bella called me into her office. Emily, I've been watching you. You're talented, hardworking, and customers love you. My heart pounded. I want you to start creating new pastries for the bakery. Your raspberry tart sold out yesterday. I couldn't believe it. Me, creating new recipes. I nodded, too excited to speak. That evening, as I was closing the bakery, Jake showed up again. "You're late today," I teased. He chuckled. "I was waiting for you to finish work. Thought we could grab coffee somewhere. Outside the bakery this time." I hesitated for just a second before smiling. "Let me grab my coat." Commend your feedback, like and subscribe our channel.